Thanks for joining us. You're watching Welcome Home, and I'm Rachel Holder with Compass Real Estate. Right now, I am joined by Shannon Wheeler with CMG Financial. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's such an important time.
We have some great questions that came in on social media from Facebook, so I want to get right to those.
Sure.
But first, I want to talk about a little glimmer of hope with lending and the real estate market. You and I have a couple of closings today.
Yes, we do. There are still closings happening. Everything that was in process is pretty much continuing on just like it was. And there are still great opportunities in the market. We're going to talk about some of the situations that you're going to want to pay attention to, the lending that's available right now. But there are still opportunities and there's decisions to be made. And so start with the questions. We'll go through and help the people.
Well, I think this is a good first question. How is COVID-19 affecting lending and real estate, and for how long? Do you have a crystal ball with you?
I have good news and I have good news. Well, the bad news is any of us know exactly when this is going to settle down. But the good news is that means we all know as much as everyone else. Right. So the point is, it's a good time to just remain calm and make those good decisions. Rely on the professionals that you have in your circle to help guide you through those things. So one of the effects that we're having with COVID-19 in the lending business is the potential for homeowners that are currently going to have some trouble in the next couple of months making their payments, taking forbearance or not making those payments. And so that revenue that's coming into the mortgage lenders, it makes it more difficult for them to lend back out new mortgages. So there's going to be a little bit of patience involved, and no one really knows exactly how long that's going to be. And most people think it's going to be about 60 to 90 days of unsure times. And then it should start to level out after that. The market right now is pricing that in a little bit. So lending has been a little bit more expensive in the last couple of weeks, and then it's started to ease back down. Our rates should be lower than they are. They're a little artificially inflated right now because of that liquidity crunch in the mortgage market.
Well, and that was, you talked about new mortgages and rates and things like that. Someone asked, I'm in the market to buy, I need to buy. Is now a good time, or should I try to wait until summer? Well,
it's a great question. And I would tell people that right now, the cost of borrowing, the availability of mortgage money, even though there's a few products that are having some limited availability, for example, jumbo loans, if you want to borrow over $543,000 in Davidson, Rutherford, and Williamson, those products are suspended right now. But if you have a buying or selling decision to make in the next 90 days or 120 days, you should go ahead with that decision, and you're going to find prices are still good. I don't think we've seen a ton of any kinds of price decreases, those kinds of things. So if you're a seller, it's still a good time to sell. Mortgage rates still overall are as low as they've ever been. They've had some ups and downs that have been sharp up, sharp down, but the trend line is good and will continue to decrease as pipelines clear and as we come through COVID-19. Pricing will come down, I think, towards the end of the year. So if you're looking to buy or sell in the next 90 to 120 days, I would say that you're going to find a receptive market. There are still people that are looking to buy. There's not any more housing, and we were already in a housing crunch already as far as inventory. You see that every day. And so it's still a good time to go ahead with those plans. You just have to be aware of a few things that are going to affect that.
That's great advice. But before we wrap up, we've got a lot of questions about refi. Is it a good time to refi? Someone wrote in and said, should I refi if it will only save me couple $100, $300 a month? What are the thoughts on refi during this right now?
Okay, you go with the golden rule, and you typically want to get your interest rate down at least 1.5 points if you're going to refinance. However, there may be an opportunity for you to get rid of mortgage insurance and trim the rate a little bit. That could save you several $100s a month. You may also look to take the opportunity to take cash out of a property. So I have a lot of clients now that are saying, hey Shannon, I'm a little unsure how the next few months are going to go. Property values are still high. I've got good credit. I want to get that equity out of my property now. And one thing, Rachel, that I want all the viewers to know is that you can recast a mortgage. So if you take a lot of equity out now to wait and see how things play out and then make a big principal reduction later, you can do that and recast the payment without the expense of refinancing.
That's Great advice.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I love we talked about being honest and authentic, but optimistic. And so I
Yes.
love your authentic positivity today. So
yes,
definitely
it is still a great time. You just have to
glimmer
be
of hope.
aware of a few different things that are happening right now and guide your way through those things and make smart decisions, and you'll be fine.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for joining us. Come
Thanks
back this
for having
summer and we'll have even better news, right?
Yes.
Up next, we've got another real treat for you. We've got a best-selling author and radio show host in the house who's ready to take your financial questions. Stay tuned.